Welcome to Our Money Chats. You can reach us on Twitter at Our Money Chats. You can email us ourmoneychats@gmail.com. Today's topic is the ugly people, surviving unattractive. I think we can all agree that there are certain aesthetics that are considered beautiful and certain aesthetics that are considered very unattractive in Western culture. And today I did something very bold by confronting someone about that. I come from a minority culture. I am mixed nationality with parents from two different countries. And most people, when they hear that and they hear, oh, it's a European and something that's considered exotic, especially if the person doesn't know where the hell the particular country is, and they just hear this strange name that they can't really pronounce, they get excited and they begin to envision and to romanticize this idea of a mixed person, because society has told us in some cases, especially modern culture, that being mixed race is like this really exotic thing. It's finally accepted to be mixed race, and even though it's hideous for some people, and some people would die if they woke up with even a smidgen of color in their skin, it's still considered pretty. It's like, oh, you have mixed babies, they're so beautiful. And there are campaigns that really dive into that and talk about the perils of people praising mixed race people and their hair texture and how they're so beautiful. And I don't deny it. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. I love to see two cultures, three cultures, what have you, come together. I really believe in cultural exchange and intermarrying. I think it's fantastic, not just because that's what I am, but because I feel like it breaks down barriers. I love to see people get along to the point they want to spend the rest of their lives with an amazing person from another culture or country. Now, given that we have these cultures, not everyone who is mixed race turns out to be a creamy blend of this, they're not white, they're not brown, they're just this creamy blend, and they have this beautiful flowing hair with ringlets. Not all of us look like that. I have very brown skin. I'm as brown as Barack Obama, and I am tall and heavy, and I have an extremely large chest. I wear a exceptionally large size foundation, and I'm not small. I'm not a small, petite, feminine person. And after going to a matchmaker to talk about matching and my challenges with that, one of the things she emphasizes is how feminine a woman must be in order to get a man that will treat her with any kind of decency. And I personally don't believe that. I don't think that works. I see people marry women of all sizes and of all races, and I don't think that. I think for her that's the blank slate. You have to start there and hope for the best. And so I did, prior to meeting with her, I was online. I went back online. You all know I am not a proponent of online dating. I think it's a horrible thing. Because it enables people to be disrespectful and to not be accountable and just walk away, or not call you, or delete your friendship from their profile, etc. All these different things. But I had my last one being online was in a very horrible place, and I met a guy, and he I don't know what was going on. I later found out that he has a mental development disorder, and it causes him to do many strange things. So upon meeting him, and when I first saw him, I thought he was not that attractive. Pictures just did not do him justice. He looks a whole lot better in person. And because we're talking about unattractiveness, I feel like it's okay to say that. I would not normally say, oh God, this dude is hideous. I don't really think that people are ugly. I think that people just look different, and that they look different from whatever is marketed as beautiful. And getting onto that, there's where I am. I'm not marketed as pretty. My features are not considered pretty by media outlets. Media outlets are not, to my knowledge, looking for women like me to fill up their pages in magazines. In fact, there are campaigns to try and get people to look at other features and to make them a part of society and stop excluding everyone and making it like we have to cookie cutter ourselves down to one to two particular aesthetics. And I do have a video about marketing women and marketing minorities, and that's something I kind of touch on I touch on a lot in that video about, how people are marketed. So granted that I'm not marketed, I did meet someone else, and I had to tell him I am not considered pretty. Now, I told him this after he was hooked. He wanted a particular type of friend, a person that likes to do specific types of things, and I made sure that I proved that I could do all of those things, and that I did that. I sent pictures. I sent, just a lot of things that we had in common, and so he got aroused. He was very excited, and he sent a picture of himself, very excited. And I thought, oh wow, this is, let me help him out here by, giving him some more truth about me. And so in doing that, I decided to give him the cold hard truth about what I am. I told him up front, I said, let me tell you now that I am not I'm not your exotic I'm not your exotic mixed girl. I'm very brown, and I know in this culture that is a problem. And he said, well, I don't have a problem with skin tone. We're probably around the same skin tone because I too come from two different cultures. I said, well, that's great. And so, we continued to talk. He got more aroused talking to me. And so I said, have you looked at my Instagram page? Have you looked at my Facebook page? Are you on either of those platforms? Be sure that you explore those pages so that you know what you're getting into and you know what I look like. And part of the reason I don't put my face on these videos is because I don't have time to deal with people worrying about what I look like and missing the message. I need them to hear what I'm saying. So I finally realized I don't think he was looking at them carefully, just like I don't think half the guys that I talk to who contact me for various things are looking at my pictures thoroughly, because if they did, then they probably wouldn't react the way they do when we meet in person. So I sent him some pictures, and I tried to just give him as much, close-ups and everything. And I told him, look, this is what it is. This is what I look like. So if you feel like you can't continue with this friendship based on these factors, and, understand that it's, if we're planning to get together and maybe have a romantic outing or friendship, then you need to see what I look like now so that you don't waste your time coming down here to visit me. Just get this out of the way. And so finally, I just dumped a whole bunch of pictures in a text message and let him see what he was getting off on, per se, because he was really getting excited, and he was just really getting out of control. And it was exciting to think someone just from my words were getting, aroused. And I went ahead, sent the photos, and sure enough, after I sent the pictures, either he had an orgasm and fell asleep, or he was, what I'm thinking, was turned off, and he did not respond for the rest of the afternoon. And I just turned the phone off and went my merry way, because I knew that once he saw my face and saw that I was not one of the few aesthetics that are permitted to be in relationships, the few aesthetics that are permitted to be respected on the planet, that he would probably leave. And of course, I'm going to get a ton of mail saying, oh, you don't need him. You don't need him. He's stupid. He's superficial. You don't need people like that. Here's the deal. There are so many people like that it's almost impossible to avoid them. One of the reasons why I don't like online dating is because you only have a picture. I think it's better when you See the person up front when you can see them in real life and know. And if a person's not willing to meet you within 2 days and see you in person and know what you look like and all of those things, then you are risking some serious time wasting and money and getting, invested and vested into relationships when you haven't really had time to have those moments together. I really feel like people who are, just pushed off into the margins need to have people spend time with them and get to know them. I don't believe, and I know for a fact, we have all these different orientations. There's one called demisexual, and one other one where you're attracted to someone for their mind. You are not attracted to them physically. You're attracted to their intellect and what they know and their intelligence. And for me, I was not attracted to this guy. And the more he talked, I was not attracted to him. I think if he'd been like a rocket scientist or a doctor, he is a captain on a plane, which I think is fantastic, and just, that's right up my alley. I love to travel. I love planes. I go to the airport early just to watch the planes, all that. But I knew that he was not my type, even though he is actually one half of a culture that I am as well. But I wasn't attracted to him at all. The pictures, he's very cute. He's very, very cute. But that's not my type. And I didn't care, because I thought he's intelligent, he's smart, he's doing things with his life, and that's what matters to me. Someone that it has goals and is driven and is doing things. And that's something he'll have to think about too, that he learned something about himself today, that he is more concerned with what a person looks like than what they're bringing to the table. He doesn't care that I have several degrees. He doesn't care that I'm loving and caring and want to be a part of this particular activity that he likes to do. That's not his concern. And men and women need to know and learn that up front so that they don't waste people's time. If you're looking for a beauty queen, then go to a pageant and lure one of those people and see if that works for you. Because for some people, it's not that important. But that's not what's marketed. What's marketed is the pageant queen. And when you're not the pageant queen, you get situations kind of like what I went through today, where when I actually showed the person my photo, and maybe I'm just an anomaly, maybe I'm just one of those hideous people in the world, when he saw that, he made it clear by not responding that he was no longer interested. You've been listening to another episode of Our Money Chats. This is one of our relationship sessions. We have about 15 of these, of the 40 videos that are some for just subscribers. And we hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, let us know. Send us an email, ourmoneychats@gmail.com. You can also tweet us at ourmoneychats. Thanks for listening.